We're back to live images from the Latur airport in Maharashtra, where the body of Gopinath Munde has just arrived. Heartbreaking images of the Munde family. You can imagine the shock, the absolute disbelief of the tragedy that has so sadly struck them. These are live pictures coming in as the body lies in state for a short while here in Latur for the thousands of supporters, as me and Rishika have been bringing you right through this morning, who've collected there at Latur airfield to receive the body. It will lie in state for a short while before it is transported to the Parli village, which is of course Gopinath Munde's native village. It's a day of deep sorrow, a day of deep irony for the Munde family and for thousands of supporters, of constituents in Bid and in Parli, who looked upon Gopinath Munde as not just a leader but a possible future chief minister of the state itself. Humble origins, a man seemed to have been very approachable and keenly tuned into the problems of the common man, the people who suffered on the ground in Maharashtra. Live pictures of the family and senior BJP leaders who arrived there to pay their respects.
And he was, a husband and a father. He was so much more to so many more people. He's been a grassroots leader in Maharashtra. He's worked very closely with farmers. He was looked at as somebody with, when he became minister, it was looked at as a symbol of hope for farmers across the country. They thought that he would, in fact, do, justice to farmers, especially in Maharashtra, who've been in a really bad state. So a man who definitely had a lot of following in Maharashtra and across the country, as we've been reporting to you since the morning, that lakhs and lakhs of supporters have in fact gathered, not just in Latur but also in Parli, his native village, where the final rites will in fact be performed in a short while from now. Thousands of supporters from Maharashtra, not just from his native village, but of course from Maharashtra, and those of course are live images that we're getting to you on your screens at this point in time from Latur, where the body had landed from Mumbai, and will make an onwards journey, his final journey to his native village in Parli. And really, of course, as Shiv's been pointing out, these images we bring to you are with a sense of irony that is really unfortunate, because it was today at this time that the minister was in fact supposed to be holding a victory rally. So what was supposed to be celebrations, and how supporters and family members and BJP workers were preparing for celebrations, have of course turned into a day of tragedy, of mourning, not just for his family, whose grief of course one cannot even begin to imagine, but of course for thousands of supporters and senior BJP leaders. It is a great personal loss for the family, but also a huge loss for the party in Maharashtra. He was a grassroots leader who enjoyed a lot of support on the ground from people, and as you can see on your screens, we've been showing you that apart from senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party and of course Gopinath Munde's family, his daughter, his wife, there are thousands of people who've gathered even at the airfield where his body has just landed. And as Kamlesh was telling you a little while ago, from the cremation grounds in Parli, of course, lakhs of supporters have in fact gathered. There were special trains that were arranged for supporters to in fact be transported to those grounds in Parli, where the cremation will finally be taking place at 2 p.m. this afternoon, but also learning that it will be the minister's daughter Pankaja Munde who will in fact perform the last rites. News that's coming in from Delhi is that all senior leaders of the BJP, LK Advani, Sushma Swaraj, Smriti Irani, they will all be making their way to Parli village. That of course will happen after that special session of the parliament, where they will in fact pay homage to the leader. After that, they will all be making their way to Parli to in fact perform, to be there while Pankaja Munde in fact performs the last rites. Heartbreaking images there on your screen. It's difficult to put into words, it's difficult to describe the kind of grief that all family members and colleagues of Gopinath Munde at this point in time are going through. People who knew him closely, people who worked with him, and as we've been talking, Shiv, he's lot more than just a husband, lot more than just a father. He meant so many things to so many people whose lives he's touched in his lifetime, and now they're all there to pay to pay their last respects to Gopinath Munde.
Huge crowds have gathered there. As you can see, there's security as well. There's police deployment to manage the huge crowds. Gopinath Munde was without a doubt a very, very popular man, a popular politician, a popular son of the soil. His inconsolable wife, Pradnya Munde, as you can see, she is in those pictures in the yellow sari. She has with her her daughter Pankaja Munde and other family members, many of them inconsolable, as you can entirely imagine at this truly sorrowful time for the family and for so many of Gopinath Munde's admirers across party lines, friends, supporters, colleagues and comrades within the Bharatiya Janata Party. On your screen right now, the event has begun. Some announcements are really being made, and at this moment you can see Rajiv Pratap Rudy also emotional at this time. He's standing his ground with the family there, really taking it upon himself to lead all the arrangements there at the Latur airfield as the body of Gopinath Munde lies in state. The girl on your screen in white next to Pradnya Munde is Gopinath Munde's younger daughter, and she will also be there for the final rites of her father. Gopinath Munde and his wife Pradnya have 3 daughters. Their eldest, Pankaja Munde, who's standing right behind, will be leading the last rites at Parli village at 2 o'clock this afternoon, after which the cremation will take place at 2 o'clock. His daughters, his family members, all there at Latur. They travelled with the body, which landed just about 35 minutes ago at the Latur airfield, a very small airfield. For the next few minutes at least, the body will lie in state for many, countless hundreds who've arrived at the Latur airfield from neighbouring areas. Some of them have been brought in by the BJP as well. As you can see, lines are being managed so that people can pay their final respects to Gopinath Munde, a leader who will truly be missed. The dynamics of Maharashtra politics have substantially been changed, especially for the BJP, given that Gopinath Munde was a man who was almost certainly a prospective chief minister of the state with assembly elections coming up. In fact, yesterday, when we brought you the story of his death, it was a story steeped in irony, because Gopinath Munde was headed to the airport in Delhi to catch a flight to Maharashtra to arrive, in fact, in Latur and then head to Bid to take part in a victory procession and a victory rally in his Lok Sabha constituency. Senior journalist Kumar Ketkar is with us on the phone line for a perspective. So much irony, Mr. Ketkar, this morning, sorrowful scenes. This is a politician who will truly be missed, apart from all the changes that will have to come about with his loss in Maharashtra politics. He is a politician, Mr. Ketkar, who will be deeply missed.
Yeah, actually it is very sad and unfortunate that the importance or the significance of a particular politician's work and his sacrifice and his career opportunities and also his ability to include all forces is recognized only after death. When he was actually very much active, he was respected, he was followed, and yet the significance and importance of his role, particularly in the context of BJP and Shiv Sena alliance which came to power in 1995, is being recognized now. Otherwise, it was all considered that Balasaheb Thackeray's charisma brought the BJP Sena alliance to power in 95. Right. Balasaheb charisma was there, but Gopinath Munde had travelled across the state campaigning against Congress. In fact, before the so-called anti-corruption movement became fashionable, he started it before TV channels, before mobile phones, before digital media. In 94 and 95, he campaigned all over the state against corruption, the movement against corruption, and that brought BJP Sena alliance to power in 95. He is being recognized now, should have been recognized earlier.
Mr. Ketkar, given that Gopinath Munde was very possibly a prospective future Chief Minister of Maharashtra. How do things change? You know, yesterday Prime Minister Narendra Modi, several other people said that, you know, it's a void that is going to be very difficult to fill. What do you think?
That's absolutely true. I mean, Gopinath Munde's name for the post of Chief Minister was actually so clear that one did not require an official announcement at all, or even to know the results, because the results, you can say, are already clear. BJP and Sena is bound to get substantially more seats than even the minimum majority, and therefore the question of who would be Chief Minister was already settled in the minds of the people, though Raj Thackeray has claimed that he will be ready for taking on the responsibility. Uddhav Thackeray has also claimed, but everybody knows that in Sena BJP, now BJP was going to be ahead, and according to Sena BJP understanding, whoever has more seats between the two will form the government and will become the Chief Minister. So Gopinath Munde's name was absolutely clear. It was written on the wall.
Right. It is in fact safe to say then that Gopinath Munde was a grassroots leader who really built the BJP in the state of Maharashtra. He was, you know, responsible for reviving the fortunes of the BJP in Maharashtra. And while it's a huge personal loss for friends, colleagues, and of course family, it's going to be a huge void for the BJP now, Mr. Ketkar, to fill in Maharashtra.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not a question of family, because actually Gopinath Munde's family was not only his party, but all the Karyakartas of all parties and all the leaders of all parties. He never had rancor. He never had any feeling of jealousy or hatred towards anyone.
Yes.
Though he fought rivals. He had rivals, but he did not have what you call enemies in politics. And that characteristic of his personality is not necessarily characteristic of all political people. And therefore, Gopinath Munde's loss is a very huge loss. And unfortunately, that loss is being recognized now. During last 5 years, BJP tried to sideline him.
Yes.
Because they did not really understand the role of this man, and therefore at one point of time he was almost set to join Congress.
Right. You know, Mr. Ketkar, the fact that there are lakhs of supporters who've gathered from all across the state of Maharashtra, and all the senior top brass of the Bharatiya Janata Party from Delhi will also be making their way to Parli, where the last rites will in fact be performed, is of course symbolic of the kind of support that Gopinath Munde enjoyed, not just on the ground, not just in the state of Maharashtra, but also within the BJP.
Yeah, absolutely. And you must recognize that despite not being in power, just a week ago he took oath, and he was not in power in real sense in Maharashtra. And yet all over India there is such huge sentiment for him that shows that people knew it at heart, but they were not ready to recognize his role. And I don't know why. I think that is a little bit of ungratefulness on part of the leaders or people even, because BJP alone actually sidelined him so much that he was virtually, you know, in the camp of Congress in 2011.
Kumar Ketkar, thank you very much for giving us your perspective. Kumar Ketkar, senior journalist who has covered Maharashtra politics probably more closely than any other contemporary journalist, and knows really the perceptions that are at play right now. Gopinath Munde was a man with several rivals, but not a man with any enemies. His appeal cut across party lines. He had been sidelined, ironically, until quite recently by the BJP, though it was Narendra Modi who had decided to reward the work that Gopinath Munde had done to revive the fortunes of the BJP Shiv Sena alliance in Maharashtra, as a result of which he was made a union minister in the Modi cabinet and was well on his way to becoming a chief ministerial candidate in the upcoming assembly elections. I want to take you across now to Pankaj Khelkar, our correspondent who's live with us in Latur. Pankaj, if you can hear us, the body will shortly leave Latur, Pankaj, and it will be heading to Parli village for the final rites.
Yeah, the body is being taken in the ambulance to the Air Force chopper at the Latur airport, and from here it will be flown to Parli Vaidinath, and from there a procession will be taken out to the Vaidinath sugar mill, and there he will be given the last rite. The cremation will take place.
In just moments from now, the mortal remains of Gopinath Munde will be transported in an Air Force helicopter to the Parli village. These are live images coming to you from Latur in Maharashtra. where the mortal remains. The body of Union Minister Gopinath Munde lay in state for about 30 minutes, where thousands of supporters were allowed to pay homage and pay their last respects, their last farewell to a beloved politician and leader, a person who could perhaps even have become chief minister going forward with the way things had been aligned for him. A man credited with reviving the fortunes of the BJP and Shiv Sena alliance in Maharashtra. Gopinath Munde had ironically been sidelined until quite recently by the Bharatiya Janata Party, but then his contribution to the politics of Maharashtra and the BJP's own fortunes had been rewarded with a cabinet berth, and he was very likely in line to be the BJP's chief ministerial candidate in the state. Kamlesh Sutar is live with us from the Parli village. That's the destination where to which the body will be headed in an Air Force helicopter in just moments from now. Live pictures, Kamlesh, from Latur. The body will be heading to where you are in just a short while from now. Give us an update on the preparations there. The final cremation, Kamlesh, will be taking place at 2 p.m.
Shiv, thousands of followers, people from Munde's village, his district and his party have gathered in a large number. Huge preparations have been made since yesterday. Immediately after the news of Gopinath Munde's accident came in, people had started gathering at his native place here in Natre, where now the final rites will be taking place. And after the news of Munde's sudden death came in, people started coming towards Parli and Beat districts. Since late evening and last night, people have gathered at this place where the final rites would be taking place. Now, any moment from now, we are expecting the body to be brought here at the Vaidyanath Sugar Mills near Parli, which is around 10 kilometers from Parli, and his native place Natre is just a few kilometers away from here. Munde's relatives, Munde's childhood friends, everyone have gathered here, including senior leaders from his party. Munde's body would be kept for the final darshan, to catch the final glimpse and to pay final homage to the parted soul. The body would be kept here around 2 p.m. The final rituals would take place. Just a while before, it was announced that Munde's daughter, Pankaja Palwe would be performing the last rites. Now, traditionally, it is the son who lights the pyre, but Munde was always a progressive leader and always said that daughters are better heir than sons, has lived to his thought, his progressive thoughts, and his daughter Pankaja Palwe Munde would be performing the last rites. In few moments from now, the body would be brought here and people would be queuing up to pay homage to the departed soul.
Right, that was Kamlesh Sutar joining us live from Parli. Kamlesh, we will keep coming back to you for more. Those live images on your screen are from Parli, where the body will be arriving shortly. Thousands, Shiv, thousands and thousands of supporters of Gopinath Munde from all across the state of Maharashtra have descended to pay their last respects to the minister, and of course accompanied he is at this point in time by his senior colleagues and of course his family members. Just talks volumes about the kind of man he was and the popular support that he enjoyed.